Hello everyone, I'm Coco. Today I'm going to talk about how to be chimpanzees. This presentation is from a TED Talk given by Hans and Ola Rosling, How to Not Be Ignorant About the World. Firstly, here's a little test from the talk to test how much you know about the world. Question 1. How has the number of deaths from natural disasters changed in the past century? There are three possible choices, A, B, and C. A. More than doubled. B. Remained about the same. C. Decreased to less than half. The answer is C. Decreased to less than half. From this graph, we can see from 1900 to 2000, deaths from natural disasters had decreased. In 1900, there were about 500,000 deaths per year. In 2000, less than 0.1 million, which is actually only about 1/5. Second question. How many years in school did women in their 30s spend? For reference, men in their 30s had spent about 8 years in school. Answer A, 7 years. B, 5 years. C, 3 years. The answer is A, 7 years. So although we know that traditionally Asian families often value sons more than daughters, and there are countries like Pakistan and Afghanistan where females have very little rights. However, women are catching up. On average, women in their 30s have spent 7 years in school. Last question. How has the number of people living in extreme poverty changed in the past 20 years? A. Almost doubled. B. Remained about the same. C. Almost halved. The answer is C. More than halved. So the transparent part is how the income distribution was in 1975. We can see that there's one hump here at around $1 a day and another much smaller hump around $10 to $100 per day. Yet in 2014, there's only one hump, around $10 per day. So we can conclude that most people are in the middle now, and the percentage of people living in extreme poverty has decreased a lot. When Hans Rosling asked these questions in the talk, people scored worse than random guesses, showing that we do not know that much about the world. So, what has made us ignorant? Ola Rosling explained that people's ignorance aren't their own fault. Rather, it's mainly due to the following reasons: personal bias, outdated facts, news bias, and intuition. Personal bias refers to learned beliefs that people are aware of and often build stereotypes. Personal bias often makes us ignorant because our communities are not representative. The second one is outdated facts. Sometimes the teacher's education method is so old and it cannot keep up with the modern phenomenon. The not up-to-date teaching materials also cause ignorance. Next, news bias. Reporters know that people like unusual events, so they tend to choose sensational news for headlines. The news is exaggerated and makes people fear. For example, a news about sharks attacking people will surely make a headline. The last one is intuition. Human intuition is what makes us humans. It was strange to us during evolution, however, when it comes to worldviews, it becomes a weakness. After getting wrong evil and then adding our intuition, this is what has made our misconception. So in this case, the chimps can use our intuition against us. So are there any solutions? How can we become not ignorant about the world? Well, you can read all the reports of all the studies in the world, of course, but that is impossible and unrealistic. So in this TED Talk, Ola Rosling introduced 4 rules of thumb to help us. These rules are not always the case, but they can result in more accurate generalizations. Firstly, actually most things improve. Just like the first question in the beginning, now the deaths from natural disasters have decreased a lot. So most things improve, not worsen. Next, most people are in the middle. Take the question about income distribution, for example. The two humps were getting closer to the middle and form one hump. Most people are in the middle, not in the extreme. In addition, the majority already have it. Many would think that a country have to be rich first in order to provide social stuffs like pushing females to school. But in fact, a country needs to be social first, then become rich. Lastly, do not exaggerate the fear. People think that sharks are scary. They are dangerous animals, of course, but in global statistics, we can see that sharks actually kill very few. Exaggerating our fear is often what leads to our misconceptions. So these are the 4 rules of thumbs to help us become not ignorant about the world. From these, we can make our intuition our strength again and beat the chimpanzees once again. This is the end of our presentation. Thank you.